He's gone further than anyone has gone from his part of the world, from China and indeed from Asia. And let's hear from Junhui, the first man through into tomorrow's final.
Ding, congratulations. You have made history, not just with the number of centuries, but you're the first Asian player, the first Chinese player into the World Championship final.
Yeah. I've done all the way good and this month, and started from qualified. I play a lot of good matches and good frames, make feels better and better every day, and it's great to get in final.
Do you think going through the qualifiers has made the difference? Because you seem a lot more relaxed here this year than you have in previous years, and this is the year where we've finally seen you deliver the talent we know you've got on the big stage. Why have you been so calm this year?
I think, yes, I think it's the top 16 is they are waiting for the qualifiers coming to have a fight, and of course they got the pressures because they don't want the knockout by first round. So for the qualifiers, they played a few matches already, so they don't mind. They got more relaxed, less pressure to play at the Crucible.
Well, it's one thing to play well, but to be magnificent and produce 7 centuries is on another level. Have you surprised yourself in that match with the way you played?
Yeah, surprised. A bit surprised. The first section start 6-2 and make 4 centuries, and Alan's played great. He's when I was 9-3 up, and he come back very good. Play very good, some very good frames, and also he make a lot of centuries.
The last frame last night was huge, wasn't it? Because 13-11 would have been rather different to 14-10.
Yeah, that's the last frame is we both got chances, and I take the last red is a massive pressure on me, and also it's not easy. Alan have the last shot he got not good safety, so I get chances.
Well, Ding, you're a man who's quite calm, but you must be so excited. This is a massive opportunity for you to become the world champion, to do this for yourself and for China.
I'll keep that for after the final.
Well done. We will see you tomorrow. Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay.
Congratulations indeed, and we've been joined by Jason Ferguson, the chairman of the sports governing body, the WPBSA. A wonderful performance from Ding Junhui, and you're growing the sport all over the world, and in some respects, how positive a story is this for you in those efforts?
Well, it's fantastic for us. I mean, to see so many, players like Alan still competing at this level is fantastic, really. And the scale and size of the sport now is tremendous. And we're very proud to sit here today and think, this sport is truly a global sport. I'm
sure. Well, what do you imagine the reaction will be in China? Because we heard some contributors talking earlier about potentially 20, 30, 40 million people watching it. I do know that in the China Open a few years back, there were 100 million people in that part of the world actually watching it.
Yes, and I think this year the viewing figures will be unprecedented. The China, I was outside of Sheffield, not just in the arena here today looking at the atmosphere, but outside in Sheffield I'm starting to see the Chinese community gathering in the square watching the snooker on the big screen, so that tells you how many are watching it right now.
And of course there's a very good possibility that it'll be an all-Asian final, because Marco Fu's still very much in the hunt against Mark Selby, and they'll be coming up at 7 o'clock this evening. But one man who has certainly enhanced our experience and our enjoyment over the last 2 weeks has been Alan McManus, evergreen, super cool, you got to say, debonair, and the urbane Scot who has thrilled us all over the last couple of weeks, and he's now with Rob as well.
Alan, you making the semis at the age of 45 and turning back the years in style has been one of the great stories we've enjoyed in recent years. Does that bring you any comfort? Because you're a great performer, you were determined to win that match, but that must give you some consolation. It's been a brilliant run.
Well, it's hard to take an awful lot out of it right now. I'm obviously feeling pretty down. But you've got to say that the right man won the match. He was by far stronger over the piece, and it's a pity. I came out this afternoon still with hope. I still thought if I can win 3-1, 3-1, I would take 16 each all day, and I still had hope. As I say, I still fancied coming back because I've done it the last couple of weeks. But a couple of things just didn't go my way this afternoon, and that kind of put paid to my chances. And when it 16-11, it's a real tall order, and again things just didn't go my way. And you know, but again, you've got to say credit to Ding, because he scores so heavily, and his cue ball's unbelievable at times. So yeah, he's going to take all the stopping.
Have you surprised yourself, though, with this run to the semi-finals? We spoke all those weeks ago now at the qualifiers when you came through, and you said, yes, it's still nice to be back, but I put this into a context. You know, it's important to do well, but I've got other great things going on in my life. But, you know, would you have really believed on day one here at the Crucible that you'd have made the semis for the first time in 23 years?
Well, I would have. Yeah, I mean, look, every player worth their salt knows that they can play the game, and I've been here before, and I've played at the top level before for a long time, so I do believe in myself. And yeah, I mean, you know, it's a nice little run. Obviously I'll take a bit from it in the days to come, but right now I'm still a bit disappointed. But again, I just wish Ding well. I know it's his first world final, and he'll be excited, and I can only wish him well.
Well, on behalf of everybody who's enjoyed watching you play in this magnificent run to the semis, hard luck today, and we look forward to welcoming you back here in the future. Thanks for chatting.
Thanks, Rob. No worries, big man. Yeah, cheers.
We sure do. 26 seasons in the sport for Alan McManus, and he's actually going to go up into at least the top 20 in the world rankings, his best ranking for some 9 years. And isn't it wonderful to see someone of that vintage actually going up the way once again, Steve?
Yeah, and obviously it's wonderful to see the disappointment as well, because it would be very easy, and I think perhaps we're all sitting there going, well, you know, he's done well, you know, pat on the back, you know. And off you go, and there's the player who's got the final. But you can see Alan fancied it, and as a true warrior and a competitor, he was in that match for a very long time, fighting a rear guard action, but he was in it. So understandable, the disappointment, and I think that's part of it for him. But to think that he's going to come into next season probably in such a good frame of mind, you know, he's got nothing to lose in a way, you know. He can play with a lot of freedom, I think, now. I'm
sure he can, yeah. And the age issue has been often talked about over the last few days, and in fact there's the relative ages of the quarterfinals from here on, and as you can see, Kyron Wilson was the youngest of the lot, Ding Junhui the only other man in his 20s. But there's Alan at the top of the pile, 45 years of age. We had Mark Williams, John Higgins also over 40, Marco Fu still going strong at 38 years young, and Barry Hawkins 37, Mark Selby 32. So the vintage is going up a little bit, and it just shows you how much experience and craft really does count in this wonderful sport, Jason.
Yes, I mean, you can't take away experience, you can't take away the class and the quality and the hard work. And, you know, what I take from that interview with Alan just then is that, as Steve said, he has the heart of a true sportsman and still has the heart of a great champion. And it's very encouraging to see. And from my perspective, I've seen a number of players over the last few years that have benefited perhaps from a change in the system and the sport almost being relaunched. I mean, we've gone from 6, 7 events to over 20 events worldwide. Players of Alan's age that perhaps thought they were nearing the last few years of their careers at some point, just through lack of playing, suddenly find themselves playing full-time, practicing every day, and really working hard, and that hard work is paying off.
And we've been dazzled by the skills of Ding Junhui, but we must also not forget he's a qualifier. He's come through qualifying, and very few have done that. In fact, he's trying to become only the 3rd qualifier to win it. Sean Murphy in 05, and his coach, Terry Griffiths, was the first in 1979.
That's right. I think it just shows the quality and the strength in depth in the game.
It does indeed. Steve, Jason, thank you very much for sharing what has been an absolutely brilliant afternoon.